I think I'm going to just go ahead and get things started now. It looks like people are starting to drop in. So um, we have fabulous presentation today with Renata Goos. But before we start that, I just want to tell you a little bit about the photographer open mic and what it is and what's my idea and why am I doing this now. So as we all know, as real estate photographers, most of the time you are just very isolated, working alone. And I got really inspired. I met Renata finally. We had known each other, but I met her in person at a PMRE professional development workshop in Atlanta with Wayne, Tony, and Frazier earlier this year, just a couple months ago. And it was just so amazing, so refreshing to be in a room of other photographers and to have this sense of community with other like-minded people who are working on building their business and increasing their skills and moving forward. So just really inspired by the community feeling and the ability to connect with all of these other photographers who get up and their passion and purpose every day is around building their business in photography. So my passion and purpose is to connect all of you together. And I hope with this open mic series that this is going to give you a place to connect and for this kind of community to be allowed to grow. So all of that being said, we are recording the meeting. I think everyone's aware of that when you drop in. So I just want to make sure that you know that. I did set this up as a meeting so that all of us can participate and share. So I want it to be more of a conversation once we kind of get things going. Renata and I talked about it. So as she's presenting, if something comes up, if there's a question, let's try and go ahead and answer it. Sometimes it makes more sense to do it then. If you do say something nice during the presentation, don't be surprised if maybe you see that pop up again in a CubiCasa newsletter or social media posting somewhere. Just want to make sure you're aware of that. I did mention already, but I'll just mention again. I'm so lucky that I have my teammates, Stephen Kartheiser, Chris Mitchell here. They are your strategic partnership managers. If you have any questions as we're going along. Also, I see Alini Metzabarba, our customer service team lead, has popped in. Amazing resources all. If you have any questions as we're going along about CubiCasa, the chat is open and we'll try to answer those as we go. If we don't get to you today, we will follow up with you if it's something that we can't answer now. At the end of the presentation, we'll be giving away a free 3D package. So make sure to stick around for that. And I think that was kind of all of the housekeeping things that I had. So without further delay, we go ahead and share my screen here and we will kick it over to Renata.
Well, hi, everybody.
Screen. Can you see it? I'm sorry.
I can see it. Yes, I can see it. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to find you here because, see, remember when you present, then, okay, I saw you. Okay, I see you now. Okay. Well, hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here. I wanted to thank Tammy, Chris, and Steven for inviting me. I feel really honored to be invited to do this today with you guys. So everybody knows a little bit about me. I have a company called Shine Photography here in Houston, Texas. I manage the company and I'm also an operator and take photos. We do a full service media here in the Houston area. I have been doing this for about 5 years now. And I love what I do. I really do. And I'm excited to just, share my experience and hopefully learn experiences from other photographers that have joined us today. A little bit about me. It's here on the slide. I'm from São Paulo, Brazil. I was born in Brazil and I moved to the US in 2008. My background is mainly in corporate. I worked for corporate, big companies for a long time. I started working for Nestle as soon as I graduated from school. I worked there for about 6 years. When I got married and moved to the US, my husband is from the US, so we got married and we decided to continue our life here. He is from Houston. In Houston, I worked for Petrobras, which is a big oil company. So obviously, everybody knows Houston is a big oil and gas, conglomerate here. And then I worked for another big company called Halliburton for about 8 years doing international logistics. Uh, After a while, I've had kids, and I decided that I needed to slow down the pace a little bit and kind of take care of things here in the house. I stopped working, and within 6 months, I was very bored. So I decided I needed to do something. I've been a very artistic person, but I didn't know exactly what to do. I had an old camera at the house. I picked up the camera and started taking photos. I really enjoy it. And then I was like, I'm going to start learning. So I did some online classes. I did some seminars, some, workshops about photography, started learning like the basic of photography. I dabbed a little bit with food photography for a while. I got a contract with a blog person in New Zealand where I would develop recipes and take photos. And I was very interested in the photography part of it. And that's when I decided to open a business in photography. And I didn't know exactly what I wanted. And someone brought to my attention that there was a market for real estate and interior photography because I thought, in my opinion, I'm a business person. I like this business aspect of it. And I also like to work more with things versus people. So they said, there's a thing called, real estate photography. And I didn't know about that. So I started learning a little bit more. I met a photographer in Dallas that was looking for a photographer to kind of like, do the work that sometimes he would get clients from Dallas into the Houston area. And he trained me. He was very seasoned senior photographer. He's been doing this his whole life. And he showed me all the ins and out of everything. And he said, you really do have a good eye for angles. So I think it's going to be amazing. And I started working with him initially. And within, 6 months, I was already doing my own business and starting to build my own portfolio of clients. So that's how Shine started. We're now 5 people. I have 3 other photographers. In addition to myself, I have as well an admin that does all of the administrative work here for Shine.
If I could just break in for a second to say how amazing it is, how quickly you have grown and scaled your business. It's really amazing. And one of the things that I love is your mission statement. So very clear, which you can see this kind of gives me an idea about your corporate background. If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Right. And then this comes a little bit, of course, from me having years of, business planning and things like this in the corporate settings. So when I opened the company and I decided, it's like photography, but you're dealing with clients and you're dealing with repetitive clients. Mm-hmm. So there is a business side to it, and there is a company that you're building while you're doing that. So you do have to have that peace in mind while you're doing this. So I decided to create kind of like a corporate presentation. I don't call myself corporate, but kind of like a company presentation. If anybody has asked me, what is Shine? Then I decided, this is what we do. So we are a Houston-based company that provides photography and media services. We do all the medias that, most of our clients require, from video to 3D to Metaphor, to realtors, home builders, interior designers, architects, and business in general. We work with a big deck of clients, if you say so. And what I say is that we provide a unique way to shoot, an incredible eye for angle, and a heavy dedication to customer service. Because I realize that with clients like this, we are an extension of their work. Their clients are seeing this work as part of what they're delivering to their clients itself. So we are an extension of we're part of their marketing strategy. So we need to understand their needs. And I try to do that with clients that I have today.
Yes. It's a great introduction to your business, but now to change speeds just a little bit and learn just a little bit more about you as a person. So just three kind of photographer and business questions. The first one being, what was the first photograph that you took that made you feel proud?
So this one here, which
Loser.
is somebody said something. Does somebody have a question or no?
Definitely a joke because
Oh, okay, I
that's
didn't
an
hear it.
incredible shot.
This one was very interesting to me because I was just starting to develop my own, my clientele base. And this client, she called me and scheduled a photo shoot, and I didn't know what to expect. And then when I show up and I realized that this was $1 million and above home, I was like, okay, I need to do my best here.
Yes.
And this shot, particularly, we had beautiful day. We had the greenery around the house, behind the house. It's beautiful. And when I did this photo, the client she was overjoyed, and this listing sold very quickly because, $1 million plus homes, they take a little bit longer to sell. So this home was sold a little bit faster than what she's done before in the past. And that opened the door to a realm of clients that I haven't worked before in the real estate industry. So I was very proud of that photo because I think that it's a photo that kind of put me in a path to do a little bit more high end real estate photography.
Yes. Yes, it's beautiful. And then if we move on to this, which was a fun little project as well.
Yes, this is my favorite, really. So I have a client, and she was like my real estate agent when I started working for her. I was like, "Can I work for you?" And she's like, "Well, I have my own photographer, and I don't change photographers. But I really like you, Renata. So I'm gonna let you do one photo for me, and if it goes well, we can think about it." So I did a photo for her. She goes, "Okay, I think you know what you're doing, so we can start working together." And then she called me, I think it was a year after we were working together. And she said, I have an Airbnb that is friends themed and it's going for sale. And I want you to take photos of it. It was just photos. We didn't do anything special. But I love Friends. It's like my favorite show for sure. So when I walked into the house, it was like the most fun photo shoot I've ever done because I was so excited about this space, and it really inspired me when I was in there, right? That is a real estate shoot where you bring all of the artistic side of yourself because it's fun.
Yes.
And I did the photos. She listed the house, and she said the moment she put it on MLS, her phone started ringing, and her phone started ringing of all the news. It was on the Today Show, it was on Yahoo, it was on Google. So it was really cool to see my work showcased in all of those, news outlets. And it was funny because I told Tammy when we were talking about it that a lot of them just had the broker name on the photo as a reference. And then I called outlets. I found out who, at the end of the article, you see who wrote it. I found those people on LinkedIn and I said, can you please just put my name there? I just want my name there. And they
Yes.
were like, sure. And again, they were like, please don't sue us. And I was like, no, 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 no.
Right,
I just
right.
want my
No,
name
it's not
there.
about that.
Yeah,
It's my fame. It's my moment of fame. Let me have it.
right.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
it was great. And then of course I showed my family and everything. So that was a pretty cool. And I think it was, to me, I like to think part of the listing being successful is not just the decoration, which was amazing of the owners, but also the way I captured it.
Yes.
So I think, yeah.
Exactly.
Can I say something?
Please.
That's one thing that you really should do is like when your pictures are featured like in a magazine, Wall Street Journal or something like that, call them up and they will do attribution to your photographs. So it is not unheard of that they will simply go
Oh, okay.
yes or no. So if it's in the publication, contact somebody and ask for attribution. Is that the word?
Yeah, because that's where something that you can use for future,
Mm-hmm.
right? To
Mhm.
showcase your work. I didn't
Can
know,
I
Wayne,
point
that was
something
like
out here?
normal.
Can I point something out here?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I think the light right here really contrasts onto this to make the viewers look more at this, right? Because this light right here connects right here onto that, and it just makes people just look right here and then look at the friends, which contrasts to here. And so it just really brings out the vibrancy onto that photo.
Yeah, your eye just really keeps moving around the photo. It's a great perspective shot.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Wayne. No, wait, what is
Mile.
Mile? Thanks, Mile. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem there.
Thank you. And then next question for our little free spirit, Renata, if you could photograph anything or anyone at any time, who, what, and when would that be?
So when I thought about that answer, I really said, okay, if I could shoot anyone, or any place, I definitely thought a place. Because to me, I need a little bit of peace and quiet to do my best. And that's hard when you're shooting a person. So I definitely thought a place. And I'm a very big nature person. I love nature, is where really I feel the best. The energy. So I thought that I would like to shoot like an old temple or castle that's tucked in the middle of nowhere, where I could really capture all of the architecture and what's inside. Just kind of like if I could be all day in a place like this shooting, that would be my dream. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing? And just so everyone knows, this is not a real place. This was just something that I made up, but I like to think of you there. And then the third question, what is one thing that you wish you had known before you started working with clients?
I think when I thought about that question, I thought about two things. One was, when we do photography, and well, most people don't recognize that, and you guys know this, it's a lot of work. It's work from the planning, from the shooting while you are there, your post work. And sometimes people would not like it. And you will get someone saying, I don't like this photo, or where'd you do this? What is, and I just think that one thing that I learned is don't take it personal. In the beginning, I used to be like butthurt if somebody didn't like my work. But that's just a personal taste. And if they don't like your work, it's okay. They can go find a photographer that they prefer their aesthetic or their style. But just don't take it personal. That's one thing. Meaning move on, be okay with that client, tell them doors are open, you can always come back. We can do this in the future, or we can fix it. If there's something they don't like it, what is it? Let me fix it for you. Right? It doesn't matter, we try to make it best for, whoever is paying for that photo. And another thing is that I've learned, and I've been, working hard on this, is to see my clients as partners. And that goes both ways. Not only I am providing a service that needs to make sense to what their needs are in terms of their marketing strategy, their timeline, whatever needs that they are for that project or the listing that they have, but also that needs to be a win-win on my side. So I need to feel recognized. My work needs to be paid well. My time has to have, a return for it, so that I am doing my work with the best that I can in terms of my dedication. So I think it's a partnership. And I've learned that with real estate, because it's such a vast industry and people come from different backgrounds into real estate, I sometimes need to educate my own clients in this partnership. I have to tell them, listen, okay, I understand that you want to budget me, or you want to complain about this. Let me tell you how it works on my end. What's my process? How long it takes me to do this? What are my, fixed costs? What are my, other costs that I have in this? So that you're happy and I'm happy, and we're both having the best result what we can. So I think that that's one thing that I wish I knew right away. And I'm learning as I go, is that it needs to be a partnership all the time.
Yes. And just having that, sometimes there seems to be a little bit of an antagonistic a relationship between the photographers and the agents, but I like your approach where it really is, it needs to be a partnership. It needs to work for them, absolutely, but it does need to work for you too. So
Right.
perfect approach. And then what do we have next? I think then we just to get to start kind of diving into more of your work, and we will talk a little bit about what you're doing with your marketing. But if there is anything that we should talk about with these photos, or that anyone wants to ask about with these photos before we go into that, these are incredible.
Now, when did you shoot these?
When?
How long ago did you shoot these images?
Some of them a while ago.
Now,
I think the
would
one
you
on the
shoot,
top four.
as you look at these pictures, would you shoot any of these pictures differently now if you went to the same location?
Yes, I would. After our training, for sure. I think the only one that I shot after the training is the one on the top corner to the right, where I did change lens, and something that I've learned with you guys during the PMRE training in Atlanta. Well, before, like really, I don't know if it was Tony or Wayne that kept telling me step back and zoom in. So I literally have this printed in my brain right now. Yes, and I love it. So yes, I would do it differently. Some of them for sure. I do like the middle bottom one, which is kind of like just like a vignette of some of the decorations of the house. But I do think that there's different ways to do those for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But those are old. Some of these are old.
Still good.
Oh, good.
And thank you, Wayne. Sorry. And then this next little bit. So this was something that Renata shared with me. So she had decided to incorporate our 3D floor plans and our 3D video render into her pricing. And so this was just the email that she sent to clients introducing the product, telling her clients more about what the products were and how to use them. And then just clearly a call to action, or if they had any more questions and how to follow up. But so I just was wondering if you wanted to tell us anything, like have clients responded to this? Do they like it? Have any of them tried it? Any of those kind of things.
Yeah, I think that this was a call that we did after we spoke at the workshop. So many good things come out of it, right?
Yeah.
And I did get a builder to buy into it. They've done a couple of houses since then. And I do think it's such a great way to showcase an empty home. And I know we talked about, homes that have been like, we have hoarders, or like they're not ready for a shoot, or they need to be completely renovated. But I do think that for empty homes, because a lot of the times people have a hard time seeing themselves in there. And with the virtual staging, this is so much more immersive. And I love the fact that you can really decorate the house and really bring that emotion to a buyer when they're going through the marketing material in MLS, which it is marketing material. I think that this is such a great tool with the 3D virtual staging. So I did get, I think I have a buyer right nowadays that from time to time in a specific home, they will order this product. And I'm also have some clients in particular homes that I know they want to do a little bit more than photos. And they, sometimes they want to spend money. They're just staging every single room. When I tell them I also have this other product that might be even more impactful compared to the virtual staging. So I love it. I think it's a great tool.
It's perfect for that. Okay, thank you. And then back to just a little more photo discussion. So this one I love. Is this a woman's house?
I know. I told Tammy this was so funny because we joke that in the real estate industry nowadays, it's women selling houses for women. You know, and when I got into this house, we walked in, and a lot of those homes, I have this client that she only sells, $2 million homes, one after the other. And we got into this house, and it's not your typical updated house. It was a little bit moodier on the inside. It had the dark woods. It had the really old stone fireplace. And I told her, oh my gosh, my husband would like love this house. It's like a man cave. And I asked her, what kind of car does the guy drive, the owner? And she said, she showed the car, and I said, oh my gosh, let's put this car in front of the house. And this is going to be a house that you're going to sell to a guy. The husband is going to make the decision, and they're going to buy this house. And she was so excited, and it turned out so good. And she just really did sell the house fast. The house is fabulous. The backyard's absolutely amazing. But I thought it was a great, it was a great photo shoot because of that. We kind of like changed a little bit the marketing strategy, putting that car in front where it goes towards a man versus, of course the couple will decide together, absolutely. But there is so many things that a man will like into this house that we changed a little bit the marketing. I thought this was a good thing that we did together, again, as partners.
That's what I love about it. It's a little bit more of the collaborative aspect. Like this is your expertise that you're sharing with the client, and you're again telling more of the story of the property. I thought it was great. And this little moody shot, I love this. I love kind of the vignette and telling a little bit smaller story in something like this.
And I have lots of clients that, I'm what I do really. If I go to a house that I see something like this, because I have a package for what I call design style photos. And when I go to a house and I see something, I will give them one photo for free or two so they can order in their next one. And they love it. Like my real estate clients are loving this because these puts you inside of the house, in that kitchen, looking at those details and making you want to be there. It's such a, emotional connection photo where it's not just like big room, big room, big room, big room. You're going in and really feeling, I could cook in there. Like I want to cook in the kitchen.
Yes.
And the clients really love that. And they're okay paying a little bit extra for it. And that's a way for me to, gain a little more money and do, the part that I love the most, which is the more artistic part. I do the shots, and then I quietly sit in the house and I start looking for things to capture. It's going to be a different shot to sell that house. Yeah.
Yes. And I hope we start seeing more of that. Also, it makes the listing so much more interesting instead of just having all of those wide shots, having some variety to the visual experience of what they're looking at. But I don't know, maybe that's a future thing. We'll see. And then this one, which I just adore.
And this was a photo for an architect. I'm going to answer Wayne's question here. This was an older one, Wayne. This was like,
you would have stepped back and zoomed in on this one.
Yes, sir. So this was an architect photo. I just, I love this photo because it is designed so well. The lighting is so good. The house is all glass. And we were there on a really nice day in terms of the lighting. And it's just a good shot, I think. It's just a good shot in terms, it's not just the I think I like the composition. Maybe in the future I would have done better with some things. But I just do love, this shows so much of the design and the type of house it is. I just like, it's like the shot.
Yeah, I love it. And this, again, another beautiful space. Wow.
I know this house was all black and white, and the owner, she told me she dated a rock star. She didn't want to tell me who he was.
Shocking.
But it was all like gold, black, white, and it was a rock and roll house. And there's a lot of good shots for this house, but I thought this was like, you can see like some of those elements in there. It was busy in terms of furniture. She had a lot of furniture, so it was hard to get like those really vignettes, because she was kind of like more busy decorator, style. But when we did the video, because did a walkthrough video for this, I put in like a really rock music in there, and she loved it.
Perfect.
So this was just a fun shoot to do as well.
So great. And then another little detail shot.
Yeah,
Gorgeous. Different style.
different style. Yeah, this was after, I think, no, it wasn't after I'm trying to think, after the workshop. No, but this house was a classic home. It had so many classic elements in there. It was just a timeless home. It had so many beautiful details. It was just another really good house to shoot. It's just thinking of it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's
How much time do you spend at a house?
Well, this is a good one.
In a house like this, when I do have, when I do those detail shots, I'm in there for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Again, this is real estate, so I am not lighting any other areas. It's all HDR. I mostly like concern of angles when I'm in there. But about 2.5 to 3 hours, depends on the house, depending on of course, the footprint of the house. But that's usually how long I spend.
Yeah, but that's not like a lot of other photographers that are just running through the house and they're very happy that they've gone through a 3,000 square foot house in 45 minutes. So you can tell that you've taken, care in your composition and angles and stuff.
I feel it. You there?
Yeah. And again, like I have some clients that I do that because I love it. I just save the time and the day for them. If I know there's a shoot coming for specific clients, I will maybe just do one shoot that day. And well, I'm fortunate enough that I have my team to support me. But I try to give my time to make sure that those are outstanding when it comes to when it's listed, people are seeing.
Okay.
There's, anybody has questions?
I was going to say, I have just a few more slides, but kind of to close out. So I'm just going to hover on this one for a minute and ask if anyone has any questions. Nope.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry. I have a question.
Yeah, Nick.
Can I please share after this the photos I've taken?
Absolutely, you can. But what I'm afraid of is if I go away from my sharing, something bad is going to happen. So do you mind if I scoot through mine and then I'll stop sharing and then you can share?
Yeah.
Thank you. So here is Renata's information. And if any of you would like to connect with her, just kind of the whole point of this, let's start talking to each other. Let's start helping each other and supporting each other. So you can find her website, Instagram, Facebook page. If you don't capture this, you can reach out to me, however I can help. And then if you would like to connect with me and the CubiCasa team, you'll find us here. You can also chat us anytime. You can reach out to help@cubicasa.com. We're always happy to help. If you have any questions specifically for Stephen or Chris, you can just scan that QR code and you can book a meeting whenever it's convenient for you. And then, so I kept track of everyone who's come to the meeting. So I think we can go ahead and choose our winner. So Renata, actually, if you will just pick a number between 1 and 10, we'll see who our winner is.
Number 6.
Number 6 is Wayne. Congratulations, Wayne. You are our lucky winner today.
Thank you. Renata, I do have a question for you. Tony and Frazier, you have to back me up on this. She didn't have this accent at the workshop, right?
Accent.
As you're talking, I'm like, this is a different person that was at the workshop.
I think
I'm very
maybe
contained here.
Wayne, you were in a different workshop, obviously.
That wasn't her voice.
Of course it was. Where were you, Wayne?
But to me, as I was talking with her, like, where did this accent come from? Sorry.
From Brazil.
I don't know. Did I just create a new accent for the presentation? Maybe, you know, I'm trying to talk a little
The
bit
way you're talking
slower.
right now, you don't have an accent.
Oh, good Lord.
What a character.
It's
Sorry.
some words, not all of them. It's just a few ones that I get like I stumble a little bit on them.
Oh, funny. Okay, so that's kind of it. I mean, Renata, we're not letting you go anywhere yet, but I did love this quote that you shared. In our business, partnership is the key to success. So we all need to keep that in mind. I loved it. And with that, I will stop sharing.
Renata, I like a lot of what you're talking about with the partnerships, and I'm really big on that in my market. I have a little different business model. I work for VHT, so we work on more volume. We don't do our own editing and all that other stuff, but it allows me to build more partnerships. I have about 80 to 100 agents I work with that most of them I've been with over 10 years. It's a good way for me to control my business year to year, to watch the influx of business from through the cycles and through the quarters. But it's all based on partnerships. If I get an agent that they get one or two really nice listings, and then the rest they don't do quality photography, I usually won't work with them.
Right. And I agree with you, Ren.
It's a good way to manage your career because we're always, it's like when you go to a job interview, one of the best practices for any of you who have been in the corporate world is to go into a job interview, not only trying to impress the person who's trying to hire you, but to keep in mind that you are also interviewing them.
Exactly.
For fit. And really one of the expressions or terms that you can use when you're doing this sort of subconscious interviewing of a real estate agent or a designer or what have you is just to drop in a statement saying that for you, you don't want to be find your own way of saying it. But for me, I see whether my clients see me this way or not, I see myself as wanting to be a strategic partner rather than a vendor. And my best client relationships, from architects to whatever, have been the ones who also see me that way. So I put that out there because the onus is on us to position ourselves first that
Tony,
way, rather than waiting
can
for
I say something
compliments
real quick?
from a client.
Tony, to add on what you're saying, a lot of times when I talk to agents, what I tell them is, if you're looking for just a photographer to fill an order, I'm probably not your guy.
Yeah.
I'm looked at myself as more a visual branding partner, and then we can go from there if that's what you're looking for. I don't care what your price points are, I don't care what your demographic is, but if you're looking to do quality, consistent work, we can make it work. And what I learned early on too is that I would tell agents, you're extremely lucky to have me. In the same case, I'm extremely lucky to have you. And at any time, either one of us feel that's out of whack, it's better to move on.
Well,
Anyway, Tammy, thank you for bringing us all together.
So, Renata, I can't thank you enough. I appreciate each of you taking time to be here today. And we'll see you again at another time.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks.
of course. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.